The world shifted on its axis the day Adult Protective Services knocked on my door.
I was 23, a young Black woman navigating the choppy waters of adulthood, still finding my footing after a challenging childhood. I was fiercely independent, determined to build a life free from the constraints of poverty and systemic barriers that had always loomed large. Life wasn't easy, but it was mine, until that knock.
Suddenly, I was thrust into a world of bureaucratic nightmares, facing accusations I couldn't understand and a system that felt designed to break me. My resilience, my spirit, my very identity felt under attack.
This is the story of my fight against a system that claims to protect but often suffocates. A system that too easily equates Blackness with deficiency. This is a story of resilience, of finding my voice amidst the chaos, and ultimately of reclaiming my power. You are not alone.
Pause 3S. Imagine living in a world where your voice is unheard, your needs overlooked, and your existence questioned. This is the reality for many disabled individuals navigating systems designed without their input. Pause 2S. Meet Gloria, a disabled African-American woman in her late 50s. Her story echoes the experiences of many who find themselves trapped in a cycle of neglect and misunderstanding. Gloria's journey with Adult Protective Services began with a similar knock on her door. She was hopeful at first, thinking that maybe, just maybe, this would be the help she needed. But hope quickly turned into despair. Pause 2S. Gloria speaks candidly about her struggles. "They never really listened to me," she says, her voice tinged with frustration and sorrow. "Every time they came, it felt like they were looking for reasons to doubt me instead of ways to support me. My disability wasn't just a physical limitation to them, it was a sign of incompetence." Pause 2S. The visits from Adult Protective Services became a source of anxiety rather than relief. Gloria recounts the endless questions, the invasive inspections, and the feeling of being constantly judged. "They asked about my medications, my finances, my daily routines, but they never asked about my needs, my hopes, or my dreams. It was as if my humanity was secondary." Pause 2S. Gloria's story is a poignant reminder of the systemic failures that many disabled individuals face. Despite the promises of protection and support, the reality often falls short. "I felt invisible," Gloria admits. "Not just because of my disability, but because the system didn't see me as a person. They saw a case number, a checklist, a problem to be managed." Pause 2S. Her words resonate deeply, shedding light on the urgent need for reform. We need a system that listens, that understands, and that respects our dignity. Until then, people like me will continue to suffer in silence. Pause 2S. Gloria's story is one of resilience and courage, a testament to the strength required to navigate a world that too often refuses to see. Her voice, though once silenced, now speaks for many. "We are not just our disabilities," she declares. "We are individuals with stories, with worth, and with a right to be heard." Pause 2S. As Gloria's narrative fades, we are reminded that the fight for justice and equality is far from over. Her story is a call to action, urging us all to listen, to understand, and to advocate for a system that truly protects and uplifts. Pause 3S. The social worker's words hit me like a ton of bricks.
"We're here to help," she said, her voice a strange mix of forced warmth and clinical detachment. But her words felt like a threat.
Help? My life was hard, yes, but I was managing. I was working towards a better future, taking care of myself the best way I knew how. My small apartment, my haven, suddenly felt like a crime scene under their scrutiny. Every corner, every possession seemed to be judged, analyzed, and ultimately held against me. They saw chaos where I saw resilience, struggle where I saw strength. My reality, my lived experience, was dismissed as non-compliance.
The home health coordinator assigned to assist me seemed to view me as a project, not a person. Her visits felt more like inspections, her instructions a constant reminder that I wasn't deemed capable of managing my own life. I was drowning in paperwork, overwhelmed by appointments, my voice lost in a sea of forms and regulations. This system, designed to protect, was suffocating me. I was trapped, labeled, and losing myself a little more each day, but I refused to be broken. The young woman's defiance both worried and impressed me. I saw myself in her fiery spirit, her determination to rise above her circumstances. But I also saw the fear in her eyes, the palpable distrust of a system that had likely failed her before. As a home health coordinator, I straddled a precarious line. I was tasked with ensuring my clients received the care they needed while navigating a system riddled with bureaucratic hurdles and often hampered by implicit biases. I'd seen firsthand how easily judgments were made, how quickly labels were assigned, particularly to young Black women like her. My heart ached for this young woman, caught in the crosshairs of a system that felt more punitive than supportive. I wanted to help her, to be a source of support and guidance, but I knew my presence also represented the very system she feared. I could only hope that my actions, my empathy, would speak louder than the system's failings. Chapter 3. A Mother's Plea, She's Not a Number.
My daughter, my warrior, my heart ached for her. I'd raised her to be strong, independent, to fight for what she believed in. Now, watching her navigate the labyrinthine world of adult protective services, I felt a rage ignite within me, a fierce protectiveness that refused to be silenced.
She's not a number. I'd argued with the social worker, my voice shaking with suppressed fury. She's a brilliant, capable young woman who's been through more than anyone should have to endure. But my pleas fell on deaf ears. They saw a case file, a checklist of criteria, not the vibrant spirit I knew resided within my daughter.
I saw the toll this ordeal was taking on her, the way her shoulders slumped with each passing day, the spark in her eyes dimming under the weight of their scrutiny. It felt like they were trying to break her, to mold her into their narrow definition of what a young Black woman should be. I refused to let them. I became her fiercest advocate, her rock in the storm.
Chapter 4. When help feels like harm, the weight of systemic failure.
The weight of the system pressed down on me, heavy and suffocating. It was a cruel irony. The very entity designed to help felt like the source of my greatest struggle. I was lost in a bureaucratic maze, my voice drowned out by a chorus of judgments and assumptions.
I felt dehumanized, reduced to a case file, a series of checkboxes on a form. My lived experience, my struggles, my triumphs, none of it seemed to matter. I was non-compliant, a problem to be solved, not a person deserving of respect and understanding. The impact was profound. The constant scrutiny chipped away at my self-worth, fueling a sense of helplessness I struggled to shake.
I felt adrift, alone in my fight against a system that seemed determined to define me on its own terms. I had to find my voice again.
Chapter 5. Finding my voice, reclaiming my power, a roadmap to liberation.
My journey was far from over, but I refused to remain a victim of circumstance. I knew that knowledge was power, and I was determined to arm myself with the tools I needed to navigate this system and reclaim my autonomy.
I began to research my rights, to connect with advocates who understood the systemic barriers I faced.
I learned about my rights as a young person receiving services, about the power of self-advocacy, and the importance of documenting every interaction, every decision made about my life. I embraced the power of my own voice. I learned to articulate my needs, to challenge assumptions, and to demand respect.
I found strength in my vulnerability, sharing my story with others who understood my struggle. This journey wasn't just about navigating the system. It was about dismantling the very structures that allowed such injustices to occur.
Conclusion: you are not alone.
My story is not unique. It is a story echoed in the lives of countless young people, particularly Black and brown youth, who find themselves ensnared in systems designed to protect but often cause more harm than good. To those who resonate with my experience, I want to say this: you are not alone. Your story matters. Your voice deserves to be heard.
Never underestimate the power within you. The power to question, to challenge, to demand better. Educate yourself about your rights, seek out support from organizations dedicated to advocating for youth justice, and never be afraid to speak your truth. You are resilient, you are powerful, and you are worthy of respect and dignity. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Pause 3S. We've journeyed together through a landscape of challenges, systemic failures, and the undeniable spirit of resilience. But there's another chapter that needs to be written. It's essential to recognize that disabled individuals deserve protection and advocacy just as much as any other marginalized community. There's more than just adult services out there. Various organizations and resources exist to help disabled individuals get the support they need. We need to amplify the voices of the disabled community, ensuring they are heard and understood. It's crucial that support and solutions come directly from those who live the experience. As we conclude this narrative, remember this powerful statement. I am disabled. I am the expert on my life. No able-bodied person can tell me what I need. If you don't listen to me, you are missing the truth of my experience. Thank you for listening and for being a part of this journey. For more resources and support, visit the link provided at the end of this video. Pause 3S.